Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. All right, we are live. What's going on, team? Johnny here with our Learn to Earn team, another live day trading session. Today is January 20th, 2026. It's 7:27 my time, and the market opens in about 3 minutes. Excited to have you all here today. I hope you're having a great start to your day. And yeah, so let us begin. Make sure you guys can hear me okay, you can see me okay. All right, excited to be here with you all. See if we can make something happen. Looks very dark today, huh? There we go. All right. Markets did sell off after hours, even more than what we saw during our Sunday Stock Talk live stream. QQQ, or the overall NASDAQ, pushed all the way down to $607. It's just insane how low it's pushed so far. Now up to 610, but it is down 1.79% in this after hours or pre-market session now. We talked about Netflix last night. Netflix is bouncing off of what looks to be $88. So there is to be some support at around $88, but it looks like it's having trouble getting above this moving average at around 89.60. Looks like it is getting rejected again, and it should. It's what its overall trend is. It's a downward trend below that moving average on the 1 hour and below that 45 EMA on that 4-hour time frame. So we need to see this get above 89.60 for it to actually begin to push up. We're going to be watching Netflix over the next little bit of time here. So we're going to set our alert above $90, and then we're going to set another alert below 88. So what is it going to do? Is it going to sell off more, or is it going to push up higher? Excited to see what happens. Bitcoin is at 90,600, so it did sell off a little bit as well. So yeah, MSTZ is up 10%. So whoever shorted MSTR and shorted Bitcoin over the weekend, congratulations. This pushed up 10% over the weekend. Very nice trade. People in our Learn to Earn Discord, or all of you guys, some of our team members are already sharing their profits with us. MSTR continuing to sell off along with Bitcoin. See if it sells off even more. Let's see what trade we can take. PayPal also on a low end here. Open is down as well, almost 5%. We're gonna end up getting a lot of alerts today, just with everything selling off. QQQ trying to find its support. I wanted to see what Hood is doing as well. Hood trying to find some support around $102. If Hood can bounce back up, that'd be a nice little trade here for Hood. I'm not in any trades just yet. I am looking for a trade today. Looks like MSTR is still continuing to sell off. If Bitcoin breaks this support right here of the moving average, this will sell off even more. Which means MSTZ could push higher. Do I want to trade MSTZ again? Yes. But I don't necessarily have to. This could bounce very aggressively too. That's the last thing we want, is to get caught in a bounce, especially on the moving average like it's done before. QQQ trying to push up from those lows of 607 and 610. Now it's at 611. Open trying to push up and Bull trying to push up with the market. Sound selling off. LUNR pushing up from 2040 to 2165. What a nice little move by LUNR. 5% in less than 5 minutes. SoFi trying to hold up above that moving average on the 5-minute time frame, bouncing off a $25 support. We'll see if this can hold. That'd be nice to see if it can. You get a very significant bounce on it. MSTR selling off even further. Doesn't really look like Bitcoin's moving though. Yeah, Bitcoin is what's going on with Bitcoin? Oh, there we go. It is moving a little bit here. I don't think I want to trade MSTR. Maybe I could trade the high and the lows. I'm not trying to put myself in a bad position today. Yeah, look at Bitcoin, how fast it pushed up. Which means MSTR was probably going to push up as well. Doesn't have to, but it can. Yeah, we're not going to trade that today. QQQ pushing back up to that moving average. We're going to see now if it gets rejected. LUNR with a nice bounce off of that 45 EMA. Does have time to push up a bit higher. Has a little bit of room. Push up higher. Doesn't mean it has to. A lot of opportunity for shorts. Intel pushing up to 48, it's up 2.5%. They do report their earnings this week, so they are trying to stay above that moving average here. They report earnings tomorrow, actually. Pretty sure we can bring that up. We talked about it in the Sunday Stock Talk, but I could bring it up again right here. 3M reported earnings today. Netflix will report their earnings after close today. Then you have Johnson & Johnson tomorrow morning. Thursday, it's actually after close. On Thursday, Intel, Capital One, they will report their earnings on Thursday. So Netflix will report their earnings today. I'm excited to see what happens. I don't really like to play the earnings because this thing could sell off more. Now remember, Netflix has had a downward trend, a descending trend line. It needs to get a little more consolidation possibly and a nice bounce up above to really see Netflix push up higher. We're waiting to see if we get a breakout either at 90 and higher or 88 and lower. Intel pushing up. Yeah, that would have been a nice move by LUNR. Ooh, look at that. Beautiful. From 2043 to 22, basically. $1.50 per share. Nasdaq market trying to push up. It's not doing a good job though. Looks like it's getting rejected off of that moving average. So again, we're waiting for a break either above the moving average or a break below pre-market lows. 607. Sound pushing up from 1050 to 1084. Yeah, LUNR, beautiful move. Would have liked to have bought that one. Gap down and recovered the entire gap down in less than 30 minutes. What a beautiful move by LUNR. Nasdaq is dropping. Means Bitcoin could potentially drop as well. Doesn't look like Bitcoin's moving as much. Like the solid recovery just now from Bitcoin. Here we go. Bitcoin selling off pretty hard. Love to see this drop more. Doesn't have to. I really don't want to trade MSTR today. It's selling off, but it doesn't look like it's doing much here. It's selling off though. Bitcoin is selling off. Staying within this range. Go 20 shares. MSTZ. Very light position for me. All right, let's see what happens. Show trading record. I'll take the cost basis out. All right, here we go. Gonna buy another 20 shares. 1390 on MSTZ. Okay, Bitcoin pushing back up again, slightly. Kind of just trading within this range right now. Get a new candle. Here we go. Now this could begin to rip up. I'd love to see a break below. Doesn't mean it has to happen. So taking a bit of a risk here on this trade. Does not have to bounce off this level. It could also bounce off of this level. But I would love to see it sell off a little bit. All right, here we go. We're going to sell 20 shares here at these highs. Nice little trade, nothing too crazy. Bitcoin selling off here. It's going to make new lows. There it goes. Bitcoin making a new low. We're going to have a stop here. We're going to raise our stop up to 15. Probably get stopped out, maybe not. Ooh. 14, 17 stop. There we go. Just got stopped out there. Nice little move. We bought that dip. Now can push up higher. Let's see where we're at. Almost 2% on that trade. $8, nothing crazy. Small win for the day. QQQ is holding up, so I don't like that very much. I would have rather had QQQ selling off. Now Bitcoin is selling off, which is nice to see. But it could bounce. At any moment it could bounce. We're able to trade this very nicely. Very nice move here from Bitcoin and MSTR. Yeah, this is super oversold now. We're going to see a recovery by MSTR. Maybe we can get a better entry on MSTZ. Maybe this has a full recovery back to the top. There we go. There's MSTR. There we go. Bitcoin is going to try and recover. All right, we're going to look for something else. NASDAQ seems to be recovering very well. Still below that moving average. Needs to get above it. If it gets above it, then a lot of these other companies will begin to go up with it. $0.10 is not worth it per open. Bull not doing much. Sound 10.50, 30 cents. That's not very good either. That was a nice move. LUNR would have been a nice move here. SoFi 25-cent move. Intel still pushing. Netflix holding. Netflix is holding, but just below the moving average right there. Do you see that? Hood's at 106, and I thought about buying some hood. Let's buy 2 shares long on hood. Yeah. It's nothing too crazy. We're going to buy 2 shares long on hood. This has a nice risk to reward here. If it goes below to 102, I could always buy a few more, or I can get out of this position. It's a little bit big. It's like a 4%. But if it pushes up to 113 or even 120s, 113, we're talking about a 6%. 120, we're looking at a 12%. So it'll be a 1 to 3 risk to reward. So we'll see what happens with this. It is above that moving average on the 5-minute. I do like to see that. Could get a nice recovery even back up to 110, possibly. If there was a way to create one of these mini P&L widgets. Yeah, that's cool. Realized 863. Literally bought at the all-time high, but for the day anyways. I thought about buying some around pre-market and yesterday actually. I thought about buying some last night around 105, so also thought about buying some around 102, 103, 104 this morning. But we'll see. This is more of a swing trade. Also, Nasdaq market's showing some signs of resistance, but if this can cross over this moving average, we can see everything else push up with it. Also, wouldn't mind buying, let's go 2 shares also, Netflix. Play those earnings, why not? It has a descending pattern, but it also has some support around 88, 89. So we'll have a couple of day trades. Yeah, we'll have a couple of day trades here. I'd love to see this bounce higher. And we can hold these a little longer than we normally would on Netflix and Hood. I like Netflix's business model and Hood's business model as well. QQQ still holding. MSTR selling off more, I think. Let's see, MSTR. Oh yeah, 159.24 and dropping, which means MSTZ pushed up to 1440 beautifully. Beautifully. We sold right around what, 1427? Let's see, show trading record. Yeah, we bought, and then sold at 1407, sold at 1416. We had 40 shares. Another 25 cents on 40 shares. Another 10 bucks. Another 10 to 15 bucks. Because I sold another 20 at 1407. Yeah. Whew. Yeah. That was a nice little $20 trade right there. Bitcoin trying to recover. That's what I did not want to see. See, am I probably not looking so good? Yeah. It is moving though. We are in some trades here. Trying to be a little different this year too. I want to show you guys some not only day trading but some swing trading this year. I want to mix up this account a little bit. I also want to showcase to you some pre-market trades as well. We had some pre-market trades such as, well, I didn't trade anything pre-market, but there was some opportunities for sure. You can manage to wake up early, 2 a.m. It went from $2.30 up to $5 IVF. Now trying to push a little bit more right now at the moment. SHPH pushed up from 6 a.m. at around $2 all the way up to $5. What a beautiful move here. Pushed up to 4, came back down, retested the 45 EMA at 277, so $2.77, pushed all the way up to $5. Like, these are the kind of moves I wouldn't mind practicing to do better. I did trade them a couple of summers ago, and we did really good. There's days we made $200 in 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and there's some days where we lost a significant amount because it changed direction. Now, we did always manage our risk, but yeah, making 83% profit in 25 minutes. Amazing. Amazing move. So I do want to start practicing these a little bit more, which means I will have to get up a little earlier, but I mean, you're throwing in $200 at 100 shares and it pushes up $2 or $3, you're going to make $200 or $300. Literally $200 day right here in 25 minutes, and you only had to risk about 280 to make 500. So I'd love to see stuff like this if it does work out. TWG pushed up from $3.50 to $11.30. CRVS pushed up from $8 or $7.52 all the way up to $16. Beautiful move. I would love to see this push up higher, but doesn't mean it has to. And it is already touching this moving average, so it can get rejected pretty easily off of this moving average here. Looks like we've actually traded this before. But a huge gap up on the daily for this company, which means it can come right back down and basically fade away for the rest of the day, giving back all of our profits. So that's why these are pre-market stocks. And they gotta have news for atopic dermatitis treatment, CRVS. A lot of green volume, not as much red. Yeah, I'm not going to trade these during market hours. Pre-market would be the way to go, which we can get more into later on as time goes on. Just need to make sure we have a few dollars for that, right? So made $9 on MSTZ. Nothing crazy, almost 2% on that trade. We're going to go ahead and get out of that position. Sell at market. So we made $9 on MSTZ today. Not bad. Hood, looks like we're down a few cents on Hood, and Netflix, we're down a few cents on Netflix. And again, Netflix can come down even more. So I'm hoping to see some good earnings by Netflix. About 178 on Netflix, 212 on Hood. We got QQQ pulling back slightly, getting rejected off a moving average, but at the same time holding up on that 1 minute time frame above that 45 EMA. So as long as it's continuing to make these higher highs and higher lows, you know, NASDAQ and the overall market can be okay. Sound completely giving back everything that it had just now. LUNR back up to after hours price point from yesterday in overnight hours. SoFi trying to hold at this new level here, bouncing off at $25. Intel pushing up almost to those all-time highs again of $50. Could push up to 60, could sell off a little bit. Excited to see what happens with that. PayPal selling off a little. Netflix trying to hold at this moving average. Looks like it's going to come down. Get rejected off of this moving average as it's done in the past. Hood also down, but I do like this double bottom here with Hood at 102, so we'll see if that holds up. Nvidia selling off, Amazon not doing much. Tesla selling off. But yeah, QQQ is somewhat selling off still. We do want to see a rally. It doesn't have to happen right now or today, but still holding above that 45 EMA line. Bitcoin hits $90,000. $90,000 and it's below the moving average again. Now we've traded this as low as 80,000 recently. And it could very easily come back down to 75,000. There's nothing wrong with that. In my opinion, it can come down to 75. Bitcoin is down 2% on the day. Now it's so oversold, I couldn't see myself shorting it more as it could recover very easily. As you can see, MSTR kind of flatlining now, all the way down to 159, which means MSTZ pushed up to 1443. Did manage to lock in $9 in profit, so not bad. but it wasn't a huge game changer either. You know, buying at a lower level, 1364, maybe make around 80 to $100 today on this move, but I wasn't willing to put all of my account size into it. You know, it's always about taking light positions so that way you could stay in the game longer. This thing can continue to move though. But buy here though, and it gets and it starts to pump. Buy another 20 shares. Let's see what happens. Looks like Bitcoin is still selling off. Still selling off pretty aggressively here. Means MSTR should follow. Let's see what happens. Nasdaq market also selling off slightly. So we missed out on a pretty significant amount of this move here. All right, Bitcoin broke 90,000 and now just hit 89.9. Means MSTR needs to sell off a little bit more. Bitcoin still actively selling off. 89.9. MSTR is not doing anything at all. It needs to sell off with Bitcoin. Come on, sell off a little bit more. We're going to create our stop here. And if it sells off, okay. If it pushes higher, then we'll keep trailing. There we go. Bitcoin's selling off 89.8. MSTR needs to break 159 to sell off even further. And it can. It can go back down to 155 even. Right, it just broke 159. Bitcoin down to 89.8. We're going to get a huge green candle now. Let's see if this is a fake out here. I should have held more. I should have just, instead of buying at the top, why didn't I just hold, right? I sold at 1407 and 1416. You know what I mean? Why didn't I just hold? That would be another 40 cents on 20. Another 30 cents. So like 35 cents. Or, yeah. 40 shares times 35 cents. It would have been another $14 on top of 9. It's like 23 bucks. Bitcoin with a big push up. Yeah, this was a wasted trade. Very wasted. Losing my, what, $2? About $2 on that trade. All about keeping those positions light, though. Did a great job keeping it light. See if it gets rejected again once it touches this point. Or if it pushes right through it. Could always buy another 20 shares. That's what's so great about having light positions. Could take multiple day trades on a cash account, as long as you have the buying power for it. Buy a few more here at 14.30. See if this sells off some more. Andrew, what's going on, man? Hey, John. Sorry, I'm pretty late. Been busy at work. Hey, I hear you, man. Work is important. Work and family come first. Trading comes second. Hope you had a great long weekend. I know I did. Bitcoin's selling off today, so we did trade MSTZ, as MSTR did get below 159. It touched 158.90. Now we're seeing if Bitcoin is going to rally. Bitcoin pushed all the way down to 89,800. If we're going to get another leg down, or if this is just going to begin to push up now. Not crazy trade today. Only we locked in $9, and then we got back in on this dip here. Sold off slightly, and then bought more shares. So honestly, should have just held this position longer. We would have been up, 20, 30 bucks today on this trade, compared to like buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling. But that's okay. Supreme Court doesn't rule on Trump's tariffs on Tuesday. The U.S. Supreme Court declined to rule on Trump's tariff on Tuesday, implying that a challenge to his signature economic policy will likely take at least another month to resolve. The court is ready to take a 4-week recess according to its customary procedure for issuing decisions. The next possible date for a tariff ruling is February 20th. So that's interesting. If anyone was curious on the tariff ruling, we're kind of all waiting for that decision to be made, and doesn't look like there's going to be one be made anytime soon. So things like this being delayed, these are our tax dollars at work, and it's upsetting to see. They need a 4-week recess to make a decision. All right. Bitcoin trying to recover here. Love to see it drop a little bit more. I'll share the post that I just talked about. If anyone's interested, I shared it in the Discord. It looks like Bitcoin can technically recover. And markets can rally now that there's technically no tariffs. So we could see a rally in the market. We could see a little more selling pressure as well. So now the US could possibly have to pay back billions of dollars in tariffs, technically. So that wouldn't be good either. Bitcoin's selling off a little further. And there we are, we're back up to our $9. We're going to create our stop again. And sometimes just having your stop too close can result in giving back too much money as well, right? So Bitcoin's selling off still. MSTR trying to bounce off of 159. Let's do a 1440 stop. It's a little tight though, right? There's these huge waves as it pushes higher. Should have a stop probably on this moving average here. But at the same time, I don't really want to give back any more money than I have to. So there's nothing wrong with having a tight stop, especially if you're unclear of direction or if there's a lot of choppiness. Yeah, you want to give your stop a little bit of breathing room, but I also don't want to give back any more profits than I need to give back. So yeah, see, so not quite the $10 I wanted. And at one point we're up, almost 2% on the day, but the more trades you take, the more, of course, this would go down if you have the same amount. So a little choppy today, I'm not going to lie. Bitcoin made that solid move. This was a solid sell-off, a solid trade to take. We just didn't hold our position long enough. We took a lot of trades on this. We can show right here. We took several trades. Buy, sell to lock in profits. Sold the one lucky share that we had right there. We bought up here at 1441, stopped out at 1430, bought at 1431, and we made another little profit of 1440. So a little choppy on this higher end, but I would hate to see this flush and go all the way back down to the moving average and giving back our profits. MSR could sell off, it could also rally. So not too bad of a trade today. We'll keep you up to date with our other positions here. We do have Hood. We did buy an all-time high on Hood. This is going to be a swing trade here. I do believe Hood can push up higher, maybe even test, the 45 EMA at $113. or possibly even test the 200 moving average at $120, which would give us a nice price point. We bought at 107, just a couple shares, about $200. But even up to, from 107 to that moving average of 113.50, we can make 6% on 200 bucks. If it pushes up to that moving average, we can make a nice 12%. So, we can make anywhere from $12 on this trade to $25 on a swing trade with Hood. Netflix, we also got 2 shares just to test the waters, to showcase you guys some day trades as well as some swing trades and the potential they can have. Average share price was 89.19. So let's go to 89.19. This can get above this moving average, then we could see, a 4 to 5% profit, which could be around $4, about 8 to 10 bucks on this trade. What I'm really excited for though is if this can push up even higher. This has a double top, or a kind of like a triple bottom here, holding support around 85. So if this can push up, on a larger scale from 89 to 97, you're looking at a nice 10% profit, like $16, or up to this moving average of 113. That's a 26%. I'll do the vanilla again, thank you. 26% profit, which would be about $24 per share, which would be about a $50 swing trade. So I want to showcase both of those to you. And again, you could have multiple day trades. I had 1, 2, and then all of these 3, 4, 5, 6 day trades on a cash account. So that's what's so great about having a cash account compared to a margin account. You can literally trade as many day trades as you have cash available. And if you keep your positions light, you could take multiple day trades. That position didn't work out, get out, lock in a little profits. That one worked out really good. Take another one, take a different one if you see it moving, and that can also grow your account over time. So there's also the effects of over trading, where you can actually take too many trades and then give back too much to the market. But overall, not a bad day. We got to do a little bit of both. We got to showcase to you not only some swing trades that we're taking, so you guys can stay up to date with those, but also multiple day trades. Instead of just taking one and done, I was able to take one, lock in profits, take another one, lock in profits, take another one, take a small loss, etc. And the more and more we go through this year, I'll also show you some pre-market trading on some of these top gainer accounts. I'm trying to still figure out how I'm going to show these to you, because obviously I'm not going to start live trading at 5 or 6 a.m. when I live trade at 7:30. But I could probably give you a quick little recap in that. Maybe I could record some of those sessions and then play them during our live day trading session toward the end, just to showcase to you exactly what I'm doing there. But thank you. Got some coffee. That means the live stream is coming to an end. Thanks to my beautiful wife. She brought me some with French vanilla in it. Let me know what's your favorite creamer, or do you guys drink it black? You guys are savages. Every once in a while I'll drink it black too. CRVS is the one that had news pushing from $7.50 to $16. So imagine waking up at 5 a.m. even catching this 54% move in 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, guys. Making 54% profit. You put in 750 bucks, you walk away with 1,250 bucks. Could also have held this position up to $16, making 100% profit, or $8 per share. So you're putting in $750, you're making $1,600. So I definitely want to get into more day trading, especially if you take multiple day trades. what's one $700 position on a $2,000 account, right? It's like 40%, something like that. Same thing with SPH, right? You're putting in 200 bucks. You're putting in $200. Maybe even right here, yeah, $200 pushes up. You lock in 100% because it pushed up to $4. So you put in 200, you're taking out 400. There's a $200 day. You could even do it again. Okay, it pulled back. I'm gonna buy another 100 shares at 272. That's a $272 position, right? So that's like a 10% of your total $2,000 account position. It pushes up to maybe 434. You lock in 60%, or you wait till it hits 5. You lock in 83% profit. Another $200, and you're not having to put in $1,000, $2,000, $10,000 to make 200 bucks. Now you're only having to put in a couple $100 to double your money. So I'm very excited moving forward to showcase some pre-market trading with you guys. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you all in the next live stream tomorrow at Market Open. You guys have a great rest of your day, and remember, let's end the year on a green note.